Today I want to offer 7 ways we can help someone with PTSD, because so often I get asked by members of our community how they can help those they love, or that they feel like they're always doing the wrong things and want to know how to make it right. These 7 tips I'm offering are extremely helpful, but I really dive into these deeper in my new book, Traumatized. So if this is something you really need support with, I strongly suggest pre-ordering yours today, because when you order today, you will receive the first 2 chapters immediately. Now let's jump into other ways we can help. Now I'm going to start with the 7th way and save my best for number 1, but any number may be the most helpful for you. Number 7, be part of their social support system. I know this goes without saying, but when we're struggling with the symptoms of PTSD, we can want to withdraw, push people away, and not reach out even when we need to. One of the best things we can do for our loved ones with PTSD is to reach out and check in, even when they say they don't need us to. I even talk more about this in number 1 and how we can best show up and be supportive, so stay tuned and I'll get to that a little bit later. Sometimes just offering to come over, pick up food, and sit and watch TV is enough. I think we can all agree that when we are feeling our worst, we often just want someone to be there. We don't need them to try and fix anything or even know what to say. Just not being alone is an improvement and can even stop us from doing something to harm ourselves. So, if you suspect someone in your life has PTSD or is struggling with any kind of mental illness, please reach out. Regularly check in and be there for them as much as you can. Number 6. Educate ourselves about PTSD and what it is. So often it seems that society connects PTSD to going to war or being in a big accident, when it can come from many various experiences, like going through a divorce, being bullied, or having to move around a lot as a child. The symptoms can also vary depending on what's going on and how the person with PTSD is affected by it. So knowing that it can cause them to lash out, be impulsive, and avoid certain places or situations can help us be more understanding in the moment or not take a reaction as personally. There are tons of books, videos, and information online from people with PTSD to help guide us to more understanding. So take some time and look into it. Number 5, get our own support. When doing our best to support those we love who are struggling with PTSD symptoms, it's important that we also have people we can count on to support us. And for any of you out there who believe you can just give and give and give to others while leaving yourself the scraps, I'm here to tell you that that will only hurt us later. We all need a safe space to vent about our life and what we're going through. And that could be with a group of friends, family, or seeing your own therapist, or going to group therapy. When my dad passed away, I found group therapy to be one of the most helpful parts of my own grief process. Hearing from others going through something similar was incredibly validating. So reach out and get some support yourself so that you can continue to support your loved one with PTSD. Number 4, learn about their triggers and avoid them as much as possible. Now, this is going to require us working closely with our loved one, because they're going to have to tell us what they find triggering. I mean, sure, we can think back to some times when they got really upset, like maybe they left an event early or completely shut down, and try to guess what caused that reaction. But it's best if we just talk it through with them and figure it out. And they might already know what triggers them. But if not, we can be detectives about it together, considering people, places, things, and using all 5 of our senses to uncover what is upsetting. And this can take some time, but it's incredibly helpful because it not only allows us to be a better support and to know what to avoid, but it also helps those of us with PTSD understand our reactions and what's causing them, which will also help us in therapy when trying to come up with some coping skills. So it's really important any way you look at it, and it's something we should normalize doing with those we love who have PTSD. Number 3, be consistent. I talked a little bit about this in number 7, and part of being a support system is being a consistent force in someone's life. This isn't something that's talked about as much, but it's really important when it comes to helping someone with PTSD. Trauma can erode at our sense of self, trust in people and the world around us, and make it hard for us to know how to soothe or calm down. Being consistent means that we create routines or rituals during the day so that they can anticipate what's coming next. We show up when we say we will to help build or rebuild trust, which is kind of the same as keeping our promises, but I wanted to mention it as well because it can apply to other aspects of our relationship. And it can also help to consistently let them know that you care and are there for them and are determined to work through this and figure out a better way of interacting. Doing all of these things can help give our loved ones a sense of security and safety that they may have thought didn't exist anymore, and therefore it can be really helpful in their healing process. Number 2, safety first. Because trauma pushes us into our stress response, those of us with PTSD can feel constantly on edge and be easily upset. And this can lead to angry outbursts or fits of rage and extreme moodiness. Not to mention that when we have PTSD, it can be difficult, if not impossible, for us to get a good night's sleep, which can make us even more vulnerable to emotional outbursts. In order to keep us and our loved ones safe, physically and emotionally, it's important that we do our best to remain calm and not react to their anger. We may also need to give them some space so that no one gets hurt. This may mean walking away during an argument or leaving when they become inconsolable. I know this can feel bad and like we're abandoning them, but it's sometimes necessary for all of us to stay safe and not say or do something that we're going to regret. I also want to mention that anger is a secondary emotion, meaning that it comes to our aid to protect us from what we really feel. So if a loved one is acting out of anger, it's usually because they're hurt, scared, or feeling overwhelmed. And anger just feels like a safer emotion to express. And not sure if that helps, but it can sometimes feel better to know that the anger doesn't necessarily have anything to do with us. It's just their way of protecting themselves from all they're going through. And number 1, and what I think is the most important way we can help, is to let them teach us about their experience. Too often we can make assumptions about someone's struggles and then try to help them in the wrong way. If we instead let them tell us what it's like and how their PTSD affects them, we can avoid many of the most common pitfalls or missteps. Even as a therapist, I always do my best to not assume that I know what my patients are going through, and instead work to ask thoughtful questions about their symptoms or experience and let them tell me how it feels. If I don't take the time to do this, I can offer support that isn't really helpful, and I could even trigger their PTSD symptoms by accident. If we have a loved one struggling with PTSD, pick a calm and private place to ask about what they're going through and how we can best help. And then take the time to really listen so we can make sure our efforts to help are rooted in understanding and love. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. For more on this topic, check out my PTSD playlist here. As always, feel free to share any other thoughts or ideas or how we can best help those we love who have PTSD. And don't forget to pre-order my book, Traumatized, and get access to the first 2 chapters today. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.